Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, as always, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So would everybody please rise? And Councilman Lupinacci, would you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, John. Okay, once again, welcome everyone, and thank you all at home for watching this evening's meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. The date is Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. And prior to coming out here for the Town Board public voting meeting, the board met in executive session to conduct personnel interviews for the position of town assessor. So the Town Board voting meeting this evening is, for the record, all Town Board members are present with the exception of Councilwoman McDonough, who wasn't feeling well and couldn't be with us this evening. Town Clerk Ann Spofford, all the way down to my right, is present with us tonight, as well as Greg Fulchetti, our Town Council, all the way down to my left. So the Town Board voting meeting, tonight's agenda is 10 resolutions. The first item being to accept the Town Board minutes of July 2nd, 17th, and 2019. And motion to accept those?
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Lupinacci, seconded by Councilman Schneider. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution number 1 is a resolution authorizing rescheduling of a public hearing on a proposed local law amending Chapter 156 of the Town Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Zoning. It's indicated here August 21st, 2019, but that's going to be changed. It's going to be amended, and Councilman Schneider is going to amend that. So, John, would you read resolution number 1?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the rescheduling of a public hearing at Town Hall, 60 McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac, New York, 10541 on Wednesday, August 28th, 2019 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter that evening as possible on a proposed local law amending Chapter 156 of the Code of the Town of Carmel entitled Zoning and adopting and amending zoning map in connection therewith. And be it further resolved that the Town Clerk, Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized and instructed to publish and post the necessary notices in the official newspaper of the town and on the town bulletin regarding this public hearing. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Guerra. So the amendment was changing it from the 21st to August 28th. It was the amendment. So it was authorized. It was read.
Well, we don't need an amended one because we never voted, right?
Oh, we didn't vote. No. So we're amending the resolution to.
We're just correcting the resolution to reflect the correct date for it.
You offered as read?
That's it.
Okay. So it was offered as read by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Bonacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Yep. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay. Resolution number 2 is a resolution calling performance bond of Surge Incorporated in regard to the improvements are proposed for Sheer Hill Estates Realty Subdivision. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 2?
Where Surge Inc. has failed to complete the improvements called for in the approved subdivision known as Sheer Hill Estates within the town of Carmel and/or has failed to comply with all of the terms and conditions of its subdivision approval with respect to the performance of the improvements called for thereon, and whereas Surge Inc. posted a cash performance bond in the amount of $35,000 indemnifying and guaranteeing the town of Carmel against the failure of Surge Inc. Performance said obligations. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby calls the performance bond posted by Surge Inc. Posted with the Town of Carmel for and in connection with the improvements to be performed at the Sheer Hill Estate subdivision in the amount of $35,000 and hereby authorizes the performance of any remaining site work identified in the approved subdivision plot and/or final approval resolution of the Town of Carmel Planning Board issued in conjunction therewith, subject to the provisions of New York General Municipal Law and/or Town of Carmel's adopted procurement policy, and be it further resolved that Town Council Gregory L. Fulchetti is to notify Surge Inc. of the calling of its bond and forward to it a certified copy of this resolution with the attachments. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Before we vote, can I just ask the highway superintendent a question, because he's here?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Michael, you're more than comfortable this 35,000 will cover the work? And you're happy with this resolution? Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Read it.
I went over to look at this subdivision today. It's off of Odessa Road, which is off of Fulmer Road. And what I like about it, it has a very large cul-de-sac. Mike, you notice, you've been over there. So buses could go up and navigate the cul-de-sac without having to back, which was good that the developer made it large enough, because we've had issues in the past where they're too small and buses can't navigate the cul-de-sac without backing, and we don't like our buses backing up. So this one has a very large one. It's actually lined with cobblestones also. So the developer did a good job up thus far, up until this point. So it needs to be topped. Yes, with macadam. So, where's my mic's not on?
No, if Dom could hear, people are texting me that are watching on TV that there's no sound.
Oh. Hey, Ian, could you run in and let Dom know that there's no sound? Okay. Thank you, John. Yep. So next resolution number 3 is a resolution authorizing commencement of litigation. Councilman Borelli, would you read 3?
Give him 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it possible that that is a station or network issue? Right?
All right, hopefully we got rid of our kinks and you could hear us at home, but resolved that the town board of the town of Carmel hereby authorizes town council Gregory L. Flachetti, 1875 Route 6, Carmel, New York, to commence litigation against Surge Inc., its successors and/or assigns, for the purpose of acquiring title to all real property initially intended to be dedicated to the town of Carmel by Surge Inc., in connection with approval of the realty subdivision known as Sheer Hill Estates. And be it further resolved that such authorization shall be deemed to include but not limited to commencement of proceedings under New York eminent domain procedure law. And be it further resolved that such services are hereby authorized at a rate of $205 per hour. Be it further resolved that the costs, fees, and disbursements incurred in such action shall be first charged directly against any security previously posted by Surge Inc. in connection with the obligations of Surge Inc. to perform the site work required by the town of Carmel Planning Board in connection with the Sheer Hill Estates subdivision approval. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. And I just want to say something for the record. This guy down here to my left, Greg Fulchetti, our town council, he never increases his rates. His rates have stayed the same for probably almost 12 years now. So, and you don't know how this town is benefiting, and some of you do know, by having him as our town council.
7 years ago.
He's the best, one of the best municipal attorneys that I know. His partner's probably one of the best also in the business, so, the best in the business. And he was a student of the best municipal attorney in the business. So we're getting a great deal by having Greg Fulcher. He didn't know I was gonna do this tonight, so I
I
hope
did
I'm not
not.
embarrassing
And
him.
I actually did a double
I did
take
not.
on the 205, because it's about 50% under the 2 bids I got from lawyers this week on different things.
It's under.
They were
Yeah, it's
all in
under.
the mid-threes.
Yeah, yeah, so we're getting a great deal from Councilor Fulchetti, so Greg, thank you for keeping your rates the same, and, you know, one of these years, you're gonna have to bump them up a little just to keep competitive, but.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you for your
Thank you, Mike.
services. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it.
You had me at hello.
I think you should be in some of your problems.
Sorry if I embarrassed you, Greg, but I had to say it. Okay, next resolution number 4 is I'm not gonna read all of this, Jonathan, because I'll be reading the resolution. So Councilman Schneider, would you read 4, please?
I have to read that title, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Not,
we do.
I would read the body of the resolution. This is in connection with the Carmel Water District Number 2 distribution system relining plan that you discussed at the April 24th meeting at Carmel High School. And in connection with that, of course, there are certain grant applications that are going to be submitted. There's CFA grants, and there's also Environmental Facilities Corporation grants that we'll be seeking. In connection with those, you already have a bond resolution that was passed in that April meeting, and typically, Environmental Facilities Corporation wants a board resolution, basically setting forth the intent to undertake the project, designating individuals who are going to be the authorized signers for the grant application and the disbursement agreement and the like. So that's what it's about, and I would recommend reading it all.
would've
I read
just
most
the
of it right
title
there,
if
but-
I knew you were going to give that dissertation.
I thought I'd save you the time.
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Water District Number 2, had previously authorized the preparation of a map, plan, and report pursuant to Section 202B of the Town Law relating to the proposed increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 2 in the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York, consisting of the reconstruction of and construction of new water mains at various locations within said Carmel Water District Number 2. And whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Water District Number 2, do you want me to hold it?
You have to be a little closer.
Wishes to authorize the submission of an application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation for grant funding in connection with the increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 2. Such application submitted to and seeking funding the reference project under the Water Infrastructure Improvement Act. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Water District Number 2, hereby authorizes the undertaking of the project currently known and designated as the increase and improvement of the facilities of Carmel Water District Number 2 in the Town of Carmel, Putnam County, New York. Said project consisting of the reconstruction of and construction of new water mains at various locations within said Carmel Water District Number 2, including original furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, appurtenances, and incidental improvements. And be it further resolved that the maximum anticipated total cost of said project is $13,301,400, and be it further resolved that all such expenditures incurred in connection with said project shall be paid through the borrowing previously authorized by this board in connection with said project by bond resolution passed after duly held public hearing on said proposed borrowing on April 24, 2019, together with any funds on hand within Carmel Water District Number 2 budget lines, as well as any and all grant applications, including but not limited to WIIA grant funding applications submitted to the NYSEFC. And be it further resolved that the submission of grant funding applications to NYSEFC in connection with this project pursuant to any grant fund sourcing included but not limited to WIIA grant funding is hereby authorized, and be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby designated as the authorized town official for the purposes of the execution and submission of all documentation required in connection with the referenced grant applications, including but not limited to grant funding agreements, grant disbursement applications, and all associated grant funding documents. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried.
Can I really summarize that? That just lets you sign so we could submit a grant application for $13+ million
Yes.
for Water District 2. Is that like total Cliff Notes version?
And you're stating your intent to complete the project. Because when you submit the grant funding application, you have to complete it,
That's it.
but the grant funding comes back.
Thank you.
So why didn't you
Yes.
say that as pre-filed?
Because our council
Somebody
did not
told them to
advise me
read
of
it all.
such things.
So remain nameless.
Okay, next resolution, number 5, is a resolution authorizing budget modifications 2019/3. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 5, please?
Whereas the Town Comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, has reviewed the proposed final budget modifications for the period ending June 30th, 2019 with the Town Board, which are detailed and explained on the attached Board Revision Schedule 2019/03. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby authorizes and ratifies the final budget modifications/revisions for the period ending June 30th, 2019, as shown itemized on Schedule 2019/03, which is attached hereto, incorporated herein, and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution accepting a proposal for independent auditing services and preparation of comprehensive annual financial report. Councilman Borelli, would you read 6, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby accepts the proposal of PKF O'Connor Davies LLP, Harrison, New York, for the provision of independent auditing services and preparation of a comprehensive annual financial report for the Town of Carmel for years 2019, 20, and 21, in accordance with the proposal dated July 9th, 2019, a copy of which is on file in the Office of the Town Supervisor. Be it further resolved that pursuant to the reference proposal, compensation for the contemplated services shall aggregate $78,000 per year. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution declaring certain equipment obsolete and authorizing disposal of same. Councilman Schneider, would you read 7?
Resolution number 7. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby lists its IBM Series i5 computer serial number 3BBM9Z57 to be obsolete and authorizes disposal in accordance with town law, including but not limited to Town Law Section 64-2-A. I offer this resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried on that. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution authorizing adopting and amending the amended Town of Carmel organizational chart. Councilman Lupinacci, would you read 8, please?
Resolved that the Town Board of Town of Carmel hereby adopts and ratifies the Town of Carmel organizational chart as amended in form as attached here to and made a part hereof, effective immediately. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded.
Seconded by Councilman Borelli and Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Okay, next resolution, number 9, is a resolution authorizing signing of change order number 4, Carmel Water District number 2, emergency pipe replacement contract C246. Councilman Borelli, would you read 9, please?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has previously awarded the contract for the above project to Legacy Supply, Inc., and whereas Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., has provided proposed change order number 4 to the aforesaid contract to the Town Board for consideration and review. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as Commissioners of Carmel Water District number 2, hereby authorizes the Town Supervisor to sign change order number 4 to the aforementioned contract, resulting in an over-contract price increase of $1,877.40. Said change order to be in form as attached hereto and made a part hereof. I offer this resolution as read.
Seconded.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Schneider. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, the 10th and final resolution for this evening is a resolution authorizing reduction of a bond, tax map number 65.10-1-45. This is the Lake Plaza Shopping Center. Councilman Schneider, would you read 10?
Whereas application has been made by Heidenberg Properties LLC for reduction of a site plan bond posted in accordance with the land subdivision and/or zoning regulations for the Lake Plaza Shopping Center site plan, tax map 65.10-1-45 and 46. And whereas said application has been reviewed by the town engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., and a reduction of the bond has been recommended and approved by the planning board, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes the reduction of the aforementioned bond posted for Lake Plaza Shopping Center from its original amount of $1,262,000 to a reduced amount of $350,000. And be it further resolved that Town Clerk Ann Spofford is hereby authorized to accept substituted collateral in form of duly acknowledged surety bond and/or cash bond in connection with this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Okay,
Second?
seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilman Schneider?
Yes.
Councilman Lupinacci?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. So that concludes this evening's town board voting meeting agenda. Is there any members of the public that would like to come up and address the board on the matters that we just covered for the voting meeting agenda? Come on up at this time. Mr. Butler, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Long day, exhausted. So I want to talk about number 4, which of course is the submission of the grant for the very large and expensive water project. So my question is, as I understand it, the submission deadline is September 13th, I think. I looked it up online. So this is important. There's a lot of money at stake here. So I've never written a grant in my entire life. Is the grant submission itself being peer reviewed? In other words, what I'm asking is, are we confident that, you know, the submission itself is going to be the absolute best it can possibly be? And how do we know that's going to be the case?
Me personally, I've seen the draft of it, the application. I'm very comfortable that those who wrote the grant covered everything. In fact, we went beyond that. We went out and got letters of support from state representatives, federal representatives, Congressman Maloney, sent representatives here with us to go over the grant application.
Great.
So I'm
Perfect.
I'm confident that we covered all bases, John.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Okay. Any other members of the public would like to come up and speak at this time to address the board on any of the agenda items that we covered tonight? Just agenda items at this time. Okay, there being none, so I'll open up the floor now to public comment on non-agenda items, items of new business. This is the open forum portion of the meeting. Would anybody like to come up?
Well,
And it's
because Mike Simone, he left. I mean, I'm gonna point this to you people, because you're the head of the board, and you have to guide him to do something. Otherwise, you're gonna take the legal route, and you're gonna be sorry.
Sir, could you do me
The
a favor? If you could just
circle
state, if you could
is-
state your name, just so that she could record it in the record.
Because this circle is a mess.
No,
Our
He
town clerk needs
ignores-
to.
Pardon me?
We just need to get your name for the record, so our town
Oh,
clerk could record
Joseph
it.
Pezzo.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No worries, not a problem. Please, I'm sorry to interrupt.
So the problem is this 16 years we're going to saga with this guy. Either gonna quit, you push him to quit, to do something because he's not doing his right job. He ignores the phone calls, ignores the visit. He came over there several times, and he said he will take care of the problem, but he doesn't. Now the thing is personal. You
okay.
come over there, if you want to take a ride, your councilman, you're part of this too. So please come over, because grass growing in the middle of the street. This is wrong.
Mr. Pezzo,
Plus,
I'll take a ride over. I'll come, because I've been to your house in the past, but I haven't been there recently.
Okay.
In all fairness, the highway superintendent, Mike Simone, he was here earlier, he's not here now. I'm sure he'd love to be here to defend himself from some of the statements that you made tonight.
but he
So-
doesn't hear it.
I know, he was here, he had to leave, but he's an elected official. The only control that we have over the highway superintendent is his budget, at budget time. After that, it's his decisions on how he addresses particular streets in town or issues that are involved in the highway department or highway-related matters he handles. That's his department. This board, we can't direct him.
But you
or-
are part of this, I'm sorry. You are the town supervisor, and you are part of this, you're gonna have to push him, all right?
I can ask him,
No.
I can ask him, but I can't direct him to do anything. I hope you understand that.
I do
Under New
understand,
York-
yes, I
under New
did,
York
but this
state
is
law-
a saga.
Under New York state law, he has the authority solely over highway-related matters. This board doesn't. We can speak to him about it, but that's probably as far as we can go. We can't direct him or delegate him to do anything. Just so you understand that.
If this town were actually organized in a different manner, where there were a Department of Public Works, then we would be able to tell the department
Correct.
head, here's what we want done.
Well, you're
Because
gonna
Mike
have to
Simone's an
tell
elected
him.
official, we can't tell him to do anything, and we have no control over his men,
Correct.
other than the hiring of them. Is that correct?
Not-
No, and that's based off his recommendations too, yeah.
Set the annual budget.
But I second what Kenny said, I'll go out there and take a look, but I think Mike would absolutely defend himself in regards to the situation. So I think it's fair that we go take a look and
We do, yeah, yeah.
see if you want.
I'll
I've
actually
been
ask,
there, I've seen it.
I'll ask Mike to
Also,
accompany me
this
out.
question is for you too. A lot of the street houses, the septic tank, the backyard, they're swimming. Your people are supposed to check out the septic tank or to the county, because we need town water
That's
and
Department of
sewer.
Health at
Yes.
the county level.
Hussey Court,
That's the
Buxton
county.
Court, and there is 3 houses right on the corner of Buxton and Cortland. But Pond Lake, the 3 houses, they're swimming.
Baxter and what?
Right on the corner, Lake Hussey Road and Buxton. And what's the other street going towards, behind Stop and Shop, where that, Cortland?
Cortland Road?
I think that's Cortland. They
Yeah,
have
it's
2
Cortland
houses
Road.
on the corner. They are swimming. And,
Did you,
you know-
by chance, did you contact the Putnam County Department of Health?
pardon me?
Did you notify the Department of Health, Putnam
Well,
County Health Department?
You people that started this on the last meeting, you sent letters that the building inspector is supposed to check this out.
No, that's not
You know,
true. The
I
building
mean,
inspector
you-
made.
This is your
Yeah.
job to send a letter to the.
No, it's not,
To the
sir.
Board of Health.
Sir, it's not.
Well, I will go over there. No, tomorrow I can't.
If you give me the
but,
addresses, then I'll do it. I mean, but if there are failing septics, we don't have that kind of jurisdiction, but we can inform the Department of Health at Putnam County, can you go and take a look? They're the ones who can take a look. So if you give me the addresses, I'll definitely, I'll take a look and I'll.
I will go to the county. And, you know, and I take them over. Because this is getting out of hand. I'm sorry.
Now, if there are failing septics, I think as a good neighbor policy, if your neighbor's not fixing this broken
Believe me, we
septic,
pay a high tax
you have to let the
and nothing
Department
for
of
it.
Health know at Putnam
know.
County, and they'll be able to help out.
That's the agency that would investigate it.
I appreciate
That's
it.
the Department of Health, Putnam County Health. Contact them, give them the locations. Don't say it here. Don't give us name or addresses here, but give it to them when you call
All
them.
right.
And they'll investigate it.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome,
Thank you.
Mr. Pezzo. Yeah.
We'll see you shortly.
Yeah. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to come up?
Couple of quick items. Number one, I appreciate the fact that the town board website, or I should say the town website, had provided information that the Fair Street reconfiguration meeting or presentation was going to occur last week, Monday, July 29th. But for that, I personally never would have known that it was actually happening. Sadly, there were 4 residents there, including you guys. Well, no, plus you
Plus
guys.
me.
the
Thank you
elect-
for attending, John.
The elected officials. And it has nothing to do with you, but it's just crazy to me that a project of that scope and significance, and I looked everywhere, was never disseminated, meaning the presentation was never disseminated by the county, anywhere. It's the wackiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And it includes dozens of homes, you know, along Fair Street, and of course, thousands of residents that use it. But thank you for putting that up, because otherwise I would have not ever known about it. In the same sort of vein, having nothing to do with you guys but the state, just wondering if you've heard anything about the repaving of Route 52, which is supposed to have occurred in April and May, and then
I
in
have.
June and July, and it's August.
I have. Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's gonna get done this year.
This is shocking.
And I was told that they ran into issues with the contractor that they awarded the project to.
Right.
The contractor failed live up to his obligations and perform based on the terms of the contract.
How could this happen in the state?
How could this happen?
Unbelievable,
You know,
unprecedented.
I don't know.
I think Greg Falchetti should do
Huh?
something about it.
So, yeah, John,
Incredible.
yeah, sadly, it's not gonna get done. We're in August now, it won't get done. By the time they rebid it, if that's what they're gonna do, I'm not saying they are, but they ran into issues with the contract.
Last summer, whenever they did the other part of the project in the middle of the night, coming home from the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning, they were finishing up, and I just felt like saying, you know, all the Route 6, beautiful, done, great. I just felt like saying, go, make a right turn. Just keep on going. I mean, just make a
Yeah.
turn. It's absolutely astounding
I know.
how discombobulated this state is. Finally, now getting local. So, on July 23rd, you guys submitted the petition by Centennial Golf to amend the zoning code. And I've been here before talking about the actual code that states that once the referral is made, within 45 days, the planning board comes back with a recommendation or a rejection or whatever, and in the absence of that, meaning after 45 days, if there's nothing, it's considered to have been approved by the planning board. So I noticed last week on the planning board agenda that they had an agenda item which was the discussion of the petition. And I anxiously the next day looked at the replay of the planning board meeting. And a lot of people are talking about this, and it appeared that the planning board meeting, it was not live, it was recorded because of the work over here, and it appeared that the planning board meeting just cut off at the end, and the Centennial discussion, which was the last item on the agenda, was not discussed. What I saw, or thought I heard, was the chairman saying that Centennial matter is off the agenda, and then the tape just ended. And my understanding is that, in fact, was the case, that it was taken off the agenda, it was never discussed, it wasn't, you know, not recorded. That's my understanding. That may be correct or incorrect, I don't know.
I don't know of him, but I can certainly check with planning board
Yeah, we'll
counsel
find
as to whether it was discussed.
It's other friends have checked or have reached back to the planning board office, and I think that is in fact the case, but presume it for the moment. So the next planning board meeting is August 14th. I don't think they've released an agenda. August 14th would make it, according to my primitive math, 43 days after the July 3rd referral by you guys to the planning board, leaving a whopping 48 hours thereafter for the planning board to make a recommendation or whatever to you guys. My question, I know what the answer is going to be. My question to you guys is, do you have any idea what's going on over there with this matter?
I'm gonna refer to, counsel on this. Have
I
you
don't,
heard anything?
I don't know whether it's been discussed one way or the other. I know that next week's agenda has the cell tower public hearing on it. So I haven't seen anything else that's scheduled for discussion that night, one way or the other. But it's something I can verify.
Could you reach out to the counsel for the planning board?
Already did,
Okay.
so I'm waiting to hear back.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Next week is cell tower
It is.
public hearing?
Yes,
And Joe's not
the
here.
14th.
So I gotta be over there. In and out.
Greg is gonna be, you're
Yeah,
you're gonna be
probably in there.
at the
That's
planning
it.
board.
I'll be here.
Well, I know where you're going with this, Mike, and I agree with you. Our meeting should be moved into the supervisor's conference room.
And it should be
And that
very,
door
very small because we
divided.
should be,
We're expecting,
I know I want to be at the public hearing.
so we're
Can I ask
expecting
you a
a large
question?
turnout for that.
What public hearing?
Cell
The
tower.
cell towers, on the
Oh,
proposed,
of course, yep.
2 cell tower
Sure,
applications.
sure, totally.
They're
gotcha.
hearing both of them the same evening.
No, I gotcha. So, but as far as the Centennial petition is concerned, no one really has any insights as to what's
We'll
occurring?
get you an update on that, and I think
Well,
Greg
if
is.
it's on the agenda,
Yeah.
if it's on the agenda, they fall within the 45 days.
Right.
And then they'll give recommendation to us, they'll come back the following week on the 21st.
So, just again, for when we've been through this, so presume for the moment again, it's not on the agenda. Day 46 comes up.
Something's wrong.
I get that, but would technically, therefore, the petition be approved per the code?
I think that's the approval language is what is in the code, but it's not necessarily an approval in the standard sense of the word. What would happen is if that circumstance, it will be deemed that the planning board really has no objection. Whereas they can
Right.
give a thumbs up, they can give a thumbs down, they can give conditional or suggestions in terms of their recommendations. It will be deemed that they have no objection. The approval process is then, if the board is inclined to
No, I
move
get
forward,
it.
yeah,
It
they got to set a
ultimately
public
comes to the
hearing,
board.
all that. So, yeah, I mean, if the 45 days go by without that, it can be deemed to be a no objection from the planning board.
Well,
And that's
just,
how it will be
again,
treated.
being unfair, but quoting from the code, which I have in front of me, last
I
sentence.
personally would hate to see that happen without public input
Right.
from every planning board member on this application.
But what the code says, just, this is a quote, because I'm reading it, failure on the part of the planning board to report to the town board its recommendation with respect to any proposed amendment of the zoning code within 45 days after the date of referral, which was July 3rd, shall be deemed to be approval thereof, unless such proceedings have theretofore been terminated. And I know they haven't been terminated, so it seems to me, as soon as the clock ticks on day 46, according to the code, that is deemed approval of the petition by the planning board.
But then it comes back to us.
Oh, it always comes back to you. It's coming to you guys. I'm
It's gonna-
saying on the part of the planning board.
Yes, that's what it sounds
If it comes back without a refer, without
It
somebody from
won't
the
come back.
planning board
It'll
saying
just,
something,
there'll be nothing will
I
happen.
personally am gonna send it right back.
Okay, I'm just saying at day 46, you may never, ever see it again from the planning board
It
because
has to come
nothing
back to
needs
us
to be
sooner or
done.
later. And
just saying,
there are
that's all.
people on the planning board, and I expect every single one of them to make a public statement on how they feel about that application.
I would like them, well, someone to comment, just as a matter of curiosity, if nothing else, why this item was on the agenda last Wednesday and then dropped off the agenda.
I might be getting that right now, so if you keep talking.
Oh, okay. That's all right. I mean, it was very mysterious. The whole thing, there's a lot of parts of this that are mystery to me, but,
Sure, a lot of
I've watched-
conspiracy theorists out there are putting stuff together.
and I'm not one of them. I'm just a fact finder. I have no conspiracy about anything.
You want to talk a
So-
little bit about Fair Street some more?
He doesn't have to if you don't want to. I have the answer.
He's got it.
So my understanding is that the applicant's counsel requested that it be removed from that agenda and put on a September agenda, which would, in my view, toll the time. If the applicant asked to take it off,
Right.
it at least tolls the time from when he did it. It stops then, and then once it gets back on the agenda, it starts the clock again.
So it stops so as of
It
whatever
tolls the
date-
45 days, whatever last week was July 31st.
So
is
that
right?
stopped the clock.
So
right
it'll
there.
stop it there, and then once it gets back on an agenda for discussion, it should start to run.
Of course, the code doesn't indicate that, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't
That's
know what I'm talking
like a general construction law type of thing.
about. Got it.
That's how they keep each other in business.
That's the conspiracy.
That's, you hit the nail on the head. This whole political system and judicial system,
Everything
it's
moves
amazing.
So Fair Street,
Yes,
I brought the engineer with me, as you know,
Yes.
Rich Renzetti.
yes.
And the purpose of that was we have extensive infrastructure, as you know, John, in the roadway and on the shoulders of Fair Street. So we conveyed to the contractor that, please be careful, contact us if you have any questions. The markouts will be done, and as long as they follow the markouts, we'll be fine. But
Yes.
if they have any questions with respect to water or sewer, please contact the engineering department. We gave him Rich Franzetti, gave him his card. We want to be kept in the loop. So as none of our infrastructure is damaged by the construction activity. So they're well aware of it, and we made them aware of it, to be careful.
Look
So,
forward to it. It's a great project, sidewalks, make it safe, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, the culverts are going to be widened too, which is,
Culverts, yeah,
which is
it's
important.
supposed to be done by the end of 2022. I got scheduled the end of 2036, done. Because government, as we know, works slowly.
slow.
Thank you.
All right, John, thank you. Is there anybody else here for a new business open forum portion of the meeting? Come on up if you'd like to. If not, we're good with that also. All right, I just have one announcement. The Sunset Concert Series, Susie usually makes these, but since she's not here. The Sunset Concert Series will be tomorrow evening. August 8th, and it's the Greyhounds, which is the 50s and 60s rock and roll band. Mike, you might like to go to that one. 50s and 60s rock and roll band at the Chamber Park tomorrow evening. Hopefully the weather's going to be nice. Bring your lawn chairs, your blankets, whatever you like to bring with you. Bring grandma and grandpa with you if you like, or any relatives that may like the 50s and 60s rock band. So that's tomorrow evening, Chamber Park. It's the Greyhounds.
Did we finalize the farmer's market, or is there still a couple weeks
No,
left?
there's
of that?
2 weeks left.
Couple weeks left,
Yeah, a
right?
couple weeks left.
So
Yeah.
Sunday, 9 AM?
Yep.
Sunday, 9 AM. Come out here quick as you can.
Yeah, farmer's market, last weekend it was a little slow, I was told, and I believe that's probably because of vacations. A lot of folks are on vacation this time of year. The week, 2 weeks prior to that, it was in the 90s, it was hot. So hopefully this weekend looks like it's gonna be nice weather-wise. So come out to the farmer's market, folks, and you won't regret it. A lot of good stuff,
Pickles.
including Mr. Pickles will be there selling his pickles. Anybody else have anything?
No, I'd like to make a motion to go to executive session to discuss the matter of acquisition of real property.
That's it.
Second it.
Contractual matter of for the acquisition of real property. Seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good night, everyone. We'll be here.
And they can hear us now.
They can hear us now. Okay, everything seems to, the new studio was kicked off tonight, so we had a couple of minor technical glitches, but they were resolved, and we're good to go. Good night,
It's gonna get
everybody.
better every week.
Be well. See you next week.